Welcome all to a town where an American soccer love story is being written. Today's match is presented by Visit Maine and Maine's Fairy Tale Football Club. Their next chapter beckons as the USL League One's debutante darlings are prepped and ready for one of its most distinguished statesmen. It's Portland Hearts of Pine and it's Richmond Kickers. Peyton Geller here with Ross Davenport and Ross, partner, as we look at the table here, the standings, Portland Hearts of Pine and Richmond in similar confines below the playoff line. 3 points so premium here today.
Yeah, as it always seems to be in League One, things very tight either side off that line. Peyton, 8 of 14 teams with 3, 4, or 5 wins. A rare win tonight could put Richmond within 1 point of Portland, but if Hearts take all 3, they could get to 7th. And remember, a ton of home games left for the home team. As
we look at how both these teams have fared in recent weeks, it is a story of two directions of travel. Portland only beaten last time out against One Knox, breaking up 4 games, unbeaten in the league. For Richmond, it's been a historic skid for them. Darren Sawatsky have to get right on the right footing if they are going to make a charge for the playoffs.
Yeah, Portland held just 1 shot on target, 8 touches in the opponent's box in that loss to Knoxville. Obviously one of the best defensive teams in the league. They did score twice in the Egg Cup against Pittsburgh. The only other USL team to do that, other than Loudoun, since mid-May. As for Richmond, 5 results in all comps have been losses. Need to get that scoring going and leaking far too many goals as well.
The man on the marquee today for Portland Hearts of Pine, Noah Kivifta, fresh in, played collegiately at FAU. He is the High Roller Lobster Company player to watch today as he grabs the number 9 shirt.
Yeah, with Titus Washington and Azad Liadi out injured, Bobby Murphy decided to reach out to one of his former players from his Austin Aztecs days, FAU head coach Joey Worthen. He recommended signing Kivifta, 15 goals in his final 2 seasons in Boca Raton.
He is primed and ready for his first start in the league for the club, having started the friendly against Halifax in the midweek. As for Richmond, they've been banged up in these recent games, and Darwin Espinal comes back in from the MASH unit to add his magical touch in the attack.
Yeah, played a half last week versus Naples after missing 4 games. The injured left-sided midfielder had 6 goals in league play to lead League One before getting hurt. We were very excited to see him come into League One. He's lived up to expectations.
Now in the month of August, getting down to the good bit. Here in Maine, we are at the USL League One season's pointy end. It is set to be a great one underneath the sun on this Saturday. Kickoff coming up to you when we return here in Portland. It's Portland Hearts of Pine and Richmond Kickers.
Hey.
Hey.
Allagash, wait for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Good.
Lineup card turned in by Bobby Murphy, the starting group for Portland Hearts of Pine. Big news, Sega Koulibaly makes his first league start in the back, pairing Kamali Green.
Yeah, the 29-year-old, he had 53 appearances for the Galaxy before knee trouble the last few years. Mentioned in the open, Noah Kavifta up top with Titus Washington and Azad Liadi out.
14 goals for Kavifta across 2 seasons at Florida Atlantic in college the last 2 years. As for Richmond kickers, a much refreshed side for Darren Sawatsky. It's Neil Seufert as well as Darwin Espinal back in, but the main line attraction is in goal. Pablo Jara makes his first league start in over a year.
Yeah, great to see the veteran back in between the pipes. Obviously, he's been coaching James Snedden, the 19-year-old, normally in goal for league games for Darren Sawatsky. No Emiliano Terzaghi in the 18, and Hayden Anderson with a rare start for the kickers.
Darwin Espinal back in the starting group for the first time in 7 games, got the run out against FC Naples. It is a bubbly, buoyant atmosphere. The ground is abuzz at Fitzpatrick Stadium. The sounds of Portland Hearts of Pine on full display. The pulse quickens and we approach kickoff. Atahan Yaya is the center official. And when he raises his baton, the chorus will commence here in Maine, and we are underway. Portland Hearts of Pine and Richmond kickers at odds in the USL League One. Peyton Gallagher with Ross Davenport, and with the stakes as they are, this promises to be a contentious one right from the off.
Yes, it does. 3 points for either of these two teams would be huge. I want to say we're quite coming down the stretch yet, but games are running out. Maybe a dozen or so left. Again, plenty of home games left for Portland because of the way they started the season on the road for the most of it. Richmond starting to get healthy. Had some big injury troubles over the last month and a half or so. Other than Emiliano Terzaghi and Matt Baldock, perhaps only 2 key members not participating tonight, but yeah, listen, Darwin Espinal, we saw what he could do when healthy. Would be an important factor tonight if they're going to pick up a win.
Of course, Richmond got off to that sizzling start early in the year. Sega Koulibaly will want you go back to Hunter Morris, who pumps long. And the flag is up for offside. Richmond since then, though, they've only been able to claim victory outright in one of their last 16 games. And you mentioned the injuries, been a huge part. They tried to muster along through the middle of the season without Neil Seufert, without Darwin Espinal. Both those players coming back in tandem today, hoping to give some punch for the side from Virginia.
Ollie Wright offside there, scored an absolute banger to win the friendly midweek against Halifax, who came down from Canada. Nice little friendly for Bobby Murphy's boys.
Friendly taking place on Wednesday. We saw both Sega Koulibaly and Noah Kavifta get their first starts for the club in that one. They make their first competitive here today against Richmond, and Sega Koulibaly minding the store at the back immediately. Ball out for a goal kick.
And Bobby Murphy said Halifax and Portland, 2 communities that really share a lot culturally, on their own geographically a little bit, so it's good to get together. They're going to try and do it every year. Obviously, see how the schedules work out, being in the cup, etc. So the fans were incredible again. Atmosphere was amazing, as it always is here at the Fitzy.
What Portland Hearts of Pine does in terms of their role in the community. Bobby Murphy spoke to us about the commerce aspect between the communities, Halifax and Portland, and how those 2 towns rely on one another commercially in the exchange of business, as it was on Wednesday on the football field. Koulibaly back in for Hunter Morse. Koulibaly, a peering ball in over the top, will not set alight Noah Kavifta, and it's back in for Pablo Jara. Curious to see exactly what he's able to offer in goal today. James Snedden, as you mentioned, over a decade his younger. A rare run out for him today for Darren Sawatsky.
You know, Kavifta went back to Norway to try and play professionally there for a few games. Didn't get a ton of minutes.
Only 3 appearances for him in the Norwegian 3rd tier for hometown Asker FC.
He's a traditional number 9. Played in more of a front 3 at FIU. They could score some goals there. It was almost played 4-2-4 to Joey Worthen's men at FAU. Very potent front line.
Of course, it was Assad Liadi who was just starting to find the shooting boots before his injury for Portland as the number 9. Has not played since coming on as a reserve against South Georgia Tormenta. It will be Noah Kavifta who picks up where hopefully Titus Washington left off for these Portland fans. Washington also unavailable today. In by Messer. Out by Seufer. The main health keys to the game as the ball bobbles out over the end line. Injury report, Ross. Big absences even as these two teams get fit here in this one. We already mentioned Titus Washington and Liadi down for the home side. Bulldog Vaughn and their main man, Emiliano Terzaghi, unavailable for Richmond.
Yeah, Terzaghi's been in and out of the lineup the last couple of months. Matt Bulldog probably out for another month and a half or so. He mentioned Liadi. He went down when Washington came in, stepped up, and now he's gone down. Now the pressure on Noah Kavifta, but what a time to potentially step up and show the professional game in this country what you can provide.
Slung along by Messer. Down by Ollie Wright. He always seems to lift the level when he's in front of the home fans here in Portland, but this is a dangerous ball back for Kamali Green, who sorts it out. And it's a lot of high pressing action from Richmond. These are the two best pressing teams in terms of final third takeaways in USL League One per game today. On display, Richmond and Portland. Kavifta has gone down in the heat, but it will not lift the whistle or the attention of the referee. Now, Ross, the keys to the game, as you see that.
Yeah, listen, for Portland, it's got to be brave. You have a new striker. Be brave in attack. Played a little with Kavifta on Wednesday, but he's obviously not Liadi or Washington. Can't be afraid to throw the bodies forward. This Richmond defense can be very, very leaky. As for Richmond, got to disrupt the rhythm. They're starting to get healthy, playing in one of the best atmospheres in League One tonight. Got to knock Portland off their game early. Can't let them get too direct on this narrow pitch here.
Keys to the game brought to you by Pape Chevrolet, but it is well pointed by you. Darren Sawatsky, one of the big things that he said was maybe keeping him on pins and needles ahead of the match was the ability that Richmond offer, or I should say Portland offer, when they are able to get going downhill at home. Richmond maybe feeling a little bit of that pressure as they give the ball away.
Another key for Richmond will be keeping Ollie Wright and JT Kamara pinned as far back as they can. It's more of a 4-3-3 when they do have the ball and get flowing. Obviously Wright and Kamara do have their defensive duties.
It's a striking switch into JT Kamara, who does even better to tame. Ollie Wright looped along into the corner. Ball does stay on into the box, and a darting bit of clearing. And it's out for a corner kick. Portland eye the target inside the first 10 minutes.
And Richmond know what JT Kamara can do one-on-one. Can't stick too close to him because he'll turn you and be gone in a second. He's going to take the corner here.
Tom Zumain, corner kick. Portland, the only team in the league yet to score a headed goal or a corner goal. In by Kamara. Free man at the back post, but it's going to carry over Kamali Green. And it's a goal kick. The USL and the CBS Sports Network Championship Eastern Conference playoff contenders, North Carolina FC and Detroit City FC, face off Friday, August 15th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Wonderful coverage over at CBS all year long with the United Soccer League at all levels.
I think if I'm correct, the rematch between these two sides is on CBS Sports Network, I think, later this season.
In many ways, you see the atmosphere that Portland have cooked up, and just talking about ownership and how they've been able to deploy their plan, I'm sure they would have been studying the kind of communal outreach that Detroit City FC have been able to achieve. A lot of similarities in terms of the atmosphere between the clubs. We saw the TIFO out before the game.
Beautiful work. I know how much work those things take. Here's a chance for Richmond.
Searching ball in behind, onto it's Espinal, who shakes and shimmies and can't cut clear. Quinonez with the tackle. A fumbling touch though, and it's won back by Kirkland, and Espinal, he's dangerous. On the 1-2, Morse will arrive.
Darwin Espinal loves to cut in from that left side. Also working those channels. Certainly someone that Bobby Murphy knows, the main danger man for Richmond. Got to keep him in check tonight.
Hunter Morse averaging the fewest passes per game of any goalkeeper in USL League One that have played over 500 minutes. This side building from the back. In the channel, Kavifta, Ollie Wright stringing along for Messer, never makes it there. Aiden Anderson trying to work it out. He wins the foul, his first start since the Chattanooga Red Wolves game at the beginning of July.
Not gonna be a ton of space out wide for the wingers to work. They have to sort of build inside out and go the long ball over the top.
Mikey Lopez on a little bit of a run, and the veterans come together. Darwin Espinal dispossessing.
Darwin Espinal perhaps a little lucky to not get the whistle against him there. A ton of contact from behind on Mikey Lopez, a man that's not afraid to make a challenge himself.
Koulibaly. Portland have been known to be a side that grow into the game. Only 2 goals in the league this year in the first 30 minutes. JT Kamara looking to change that trajectory. He's brushed from the ball by Landon Johnson, who has it in hand for Richmond.
There's a good bit of physical work there by Landon Johnson. He's always going to win that battle with JT Kamara. He might not win the pace battle. Not that Landon Johnson's slow by any means. JT Kamara just quick off the mark with those feet. Look at it here from a different angle. I think it's hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder there, not much in it. Could certainly have seen it go the other way though. Portland fans made their voices known about that decision.
Starting to feel like Richmond have every intent to live up to that moniker that you gave them in terms of their keys. They've been the bully so far.
Yeah, got Joshua Kirkland up there in the target role. Looking to play second balls off him a lot tonight, I think. Portland midfield, got to be careful not to give the Richmond midfield too much space to allow that to happen.
Free ball in the center. Portland hunting in packs, but won well by Neil Seufer. He's been up and about in his first start back in several weeks. Shenfield. Away by Hara. Another stifling tackle from Richmond kickers. Kirkland unable to make it stick, and now Michel Poon-Angeron and JT Kamara twisting away from one, and he's yanked back. A foul is given. Portland on approach, a venue that has been so good to them this year.
It's going to be a matchup to watch. Kamara against Shenfield at that left back spot. Shenfield, certainly someone who loves to get forward. He was playing wing back last week. Certainly capable of playing full back, but that's not the pace that he used to have against JT Kamara. 23. Still got plenty of legs and pace in him.
Nearly a quarter hour gone. There was some curiosity about exactly what kind of shape we would see from Richmond. It does look like Darwin Espinal is truly functioning as a number 8 in the center of the midfield.
Yeah, for sure, certainly a role he's played in the past. In his first year in League One. Those that knew about him from his previous leagues, waiting for him to get to League One to see what he can do. Shame it took this long, but he's certainly proven he belongs.
6 goals for him on the season today. Most of those coming early on, and then that bout with injury. If Richmond are to make a similar run as they did to last year, where they eked into the playoffs with a hot streak in the final 10 games, you have to imagine he will be at the heart of that resurgence. And in this instance, though, no red. Shenfield. The big man, Marcelo Lage.
Yeah, nice little addition, Marcelo Lage. Released by Spokane, picked up immediately by Darren Swatsky. Big physical presence there at the centre-back spot. So
Hara a little bit late to get it away. Does just about over the head of Johnson. Punanjaran. Wondered who might take up the reins of the number 10 role with big absence of Masashi Wada in the team. It looks like Punanjaran is the most advanced of that midfield for Bobby Murphy.
Yeah, I think as you and I discussed, they may rotate a little bit. They play some of the two pivots with the attacking mid. Both these teams sort of set up as 4-2-3-1, can push into 4-3-3 when they need to.
You've said it a couple times. It is a very narrow surface. Bobby Murphy referred to it as our narrow. Feels like Portland have got a good grasp of how to play with the dimensions that they've constructed for themselves, both in the metaphorical and literal sense.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you know what you're coming into. You start build your team. You're going to play half your games on this field. Fans, certainly one thing about having a narrow field is the fans will feel even more on top of you.
Good bit of hold-up play, but it skirts away. It was the first time we've really seen Kavifta with his back to goal, but it's given back. Kamara, JT Kamara. It's a fingless effort from distance and an easy catch for Pablo Hara.
Well, Pablo Hara has seen such limited action. He'll take that for his first save of the evening, that's for sure. It's a poor giveaway initially. It was by Clydie. Apologizing to his fellow backline members for that giveaway. Didn't result in a goal, thankfully for him. Certainly a warning shot. You can't give the ball away to JT Kamara in that spot.
Soifer sliding wide. Hayden Anderson belting across tall, and it will hobble harmlessly out for a goal kick. USL on ESPN2 Championship Western Conference powerhouse Phoenix Rising FC take on the surging Eastern Conference Tampa Bay Rowdies in a Saturday night showdown August 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, a replaying of the Phantom Final.
Course, Tampa Bay being now led by former League One manager Dom Casiato. Tried a couple of wins, won 3 of the last 4 in the championship play. I know Dom Casiato was certainly someone on many teams' lists.
That's some ball in behind. Messer arriving. Kavifta in the box. Messer driving. And it's swept away. Dakota Bornathan recovering and providing the cover.
Just keeping an eye on Noah Kavifta in the box there. He was in some hand-to-hand combat with Clydie Chella, grabbing each other. Two balls on the field.
Don't think that that's the protocol.
We don't have multi-ball in soccer? We should do.
I think that's a different sport.
Well,
Golazo.
I assume we do have some ball staff here. I don't know how he's going to take care of it.
So loudest we've heard the crowd all day. Just listen to him sing now. The sound of something very special being built here.
Love it.
Pretty amazing how quickly everybody's understood what the game's about and how to be supporters. That almost feels like a sport at times as well.
Listen, singing is a part of the game everywhere around the world, except it seems to be in many League American cities. Get those lyric sheets printed out, people. Once people are a little confident about what they're singing, it makes it a lot easier. After a couple of games, you should know the words.
They've already built it out. A couple verses. The king of rock and roll, Elvis. Bobby Murphy putting in a request to the DJ early in the year. Can't help falling in love. Feels an apropos way for this group to start the game as they have since Bobby asked that of them.
Goes nicely with the Hearts theme, for sure.
It is, after all, what they lead with here in this region. Meanwhile, Punanjaran leading the way. Settling is JT Kamara, who takes aim and turns wide, but ever so narrowly. A spark from JT Kamara.
Didn't just have enough curve on it. Get past Pablo O'Hara. O'Hara may have had that covered, but he was certainly scrambling to his right-hand post there. Not sure if he got a great look at it. The traffic in front.
JT Kamara, 2 goals on the year. And that lovely little finish against South Georgia. Playing with his head held high. Really cementing that right-sided wing spot. Another great tackle. Punandra on infield for Ollie Wright, who gets away. Ollie Wright, still Ollie Wright. Driving, firing, and leaving wide. Everybody holds their breath when number 10 gets hold of one.
Yeah, winding little round by Ollie Wright. Clemson have a foul there on Marcelo Lage. He was clattered into by a Hearts player. No call though. Ollie Wright's putting him on roller skates. Shot in the end went wide. Didn't get a deflection apparently. Looked like it may have done an initial look.
Some players just have a sense of magnetism. I feel like Ollie Wright, an embodiment of the highest portion of skill really you can observe in the USL League One. Something that his manager certainly felt. Understood early on the key thing for Ollie Wright to find his best with Portland would be sense of responsibility, something that the feeling is now that he really has taken on as the foul is given against Richmond player Sega Koulibaly up amongst it. But Ollie Wright starting to really grow into himself.
Yeah, certainly one of those guys that every new team loves to have, that guy that can do something special and bring fans in. Yeah, you got to come watch Ollie Wright play. Obviously this Portland team doing well enough so far to keep the fans coming in. Hopefully that will continue for many years. And we'll see if we can get above the playoff line. Stay there.
Portland already having set the consecutive sellouts record in USL League One. Those fans lifting as Punandra just narrowly misses out. Richmond increasingly pinned back in their own half.
So if they had turned even 2 or 3 of those draws into wins, they could be up there in the top 5. Just so many draws this season for Bobby Murphy's boys. Saw that with Rhode Island FC last year in their first year in the USL Championship, and look where they ended up.
Talk about Spokane as well.
Especially these cold area teams that take a while to get going. And those home games to finish. It's 8 of 13 down the stretch, I think, at home for Portland. Sorry, 9 of 14, including this one.
Expansion clubs, there's a betting in period, it feels like, especially in the northern portion of the country. Back to Morris. But last year, certainly evidence of the fact that both the championship and League One level, with a couple home games late on, you can catch fire. Portland have played the joint second fewest home games at only 6 in the league of anybody in the USL League One.
It's crazy. They've only got 4 losses. That's half as many as Greenville in the spot above them. Greenville tonight taking on Charlotte. Team that's had their number of late.
Intercepted again in the mid-park. Punandra hatching his plan, and now Ollie Wright. One back by Langlois. Koulibaly and Morse.
You mentioned Musashi Wada tonight, not in the 18. Wasn't listed as an injury concern for Bobby Murphy. Perhaps got banged up recently. Mentioned that game on Wednesday. It was mostly reserves that started that game. He probably did clear the bench late and brought in many starters. If you haven't seen that game-winning goal, please go check it out on the socials.
There's Washington out today as well, who had been playing so well. Portland's desperately in need of some of their star players to come up with that creativity in the absence of so much of the goal threat. Ollie Wright. And shifting along and outside of the boot ball, Hayden Anderson roaring into the box. It's a collision with Kamali Green. And it's nothing but a goal kick.
I was trying to see where Tanyaha was pointing there. It's slightly questionable if he was pointing to this, but I think Hayden Anderson was looking for the contact a little bit too much. Which was a shame because he certainly had the opportunity to get a cross in. Shout out to the Kickers fans tonight watching at Triple Crossing.
It's so interesting to see a team that's been walking this path for so long, coming to grips with a team that's right at the start. Richmond, in many ways, the flag bearer for the USL League One.
Say the oldest team versus one of the newest teams here, but obviously got teams coming in next season as well. Great to see USL League One expanding yet again.
As you see those fans bouncing up and down, you have to imagine many will be making the journey to this venue weekend after weekend for years to come. You look at a player like a Dakota Barnathan, so many in this Richmond squad that have been around since the early parts of Richmond's time in USL League One. You wonder how many of these on the field today for Portland might be able to have a similar kind of impact with this squad and these fans.
Yeah, this in Richmond, obviously, as well. One of the biggest fan cultures in League One. Pack City Stadium every time they play there. Around the league to see what teams are doing well. Certainly Richmond, a great example of one of the teams that has done things very well on the fan culture side. Section O certainly has a reputation. Hayden Anderson now playing for Richmond. Found that out last year playing for Greenville. All good fun though.
He did score against Richmond Kickers last season.
Yes, and ended up with some beer dumped on his head. I don't think he minded too much.
I think there are worse things.
I'm sure people have heard worse things from Section O than getting some beer on you.
He slaps around and finds the feet of Ollie Wright, who in turn finds a man cutting byline. Messer, that connection again, yielding positive results in progression, but nothing more than a corner to come.
Yeah, Portland starting to take control of this game here in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Michel Angeron was waiting for that pullback. His head in his hands. He knew he had a great chance if it found him.
Ollie Wright has a go. It glides wide. There was no hesitation in his mind, though, as soon as he has the opening. Ollie Wright is looking at the target.
First time strike, very lovely technically, just didn't get it on target. He did on Wednesday night in a similar fashion. First time effort.
High header, Angeron with a knock on. Down by Kvyefta, but no further. And it's one on the break. Kirkland can't sort it out, and it dribbles out. The word is goal kick. That was nervous. Ball bouncing. That ball was a Select ball. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. More on that on the other side of a replay.
Yeah, Kirkland just stuck with it. He was claiming he'd been being held by the arm, by the shirt. We had a better look from this angle. Nah, right, nothing in that one. Just trying to skip back inside, just crowded out in the end, but almost got the poke. Pass Hunter Morse.
Ball back in motion. Good time to remind you that from Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. And choosing to press out on his own is JT Kamara. Ollie Wright involved again in the middle. Prodded back for a throw.
Richmond back in their traditional back four tonight. They did tinker with the back three last game with the wing backs, Fitch and Schenfeld, but back to the normal back four tonight.
Ollie Wright, a flash of class. Angeron and JT Kamara. Kamara in chorus. Angeron The last obstacle proves the tripping point. How much more of this can Richmond resist, though?
Yeah, sitting deeper and deeper. Doing a good job of limiting chances, but other than that, just a couple of minutes ago from Kirkland, it's been a little quiet in the final third of late here for Richmond. Of course, they haven't had trouble scoring goals as a whole this season, but they've also leaked far too many.
As soon as that offense that they were finding so easily early on in the year dried up a little bit, that's when the real downtick in their form kicked in for Richmond. Only scored multiple goals once in the last 9 games. These kickers did it 5 times in the first 14.
Got off to that flying start, but yeah, things have started to dry up, and unfortunately, winning goals has also not been good. 3 against Charlotte in the cup. Oops.
It was Messer who went in, fully through the back of the defender, and fell given. Had that really physical start. Things have toned down a little bit. Out to Hanyaya, the center official makes the call.
It's hard to tell from that angle. Certainly a little perhaps in the back, not quite shoulder to shoulder. And Richmond allowed 12 goals in their last 5 games in all competitions. They've only scored 1 over that span. But again, it's starting to get healthy. Missing some key cogs. A couple of them back tonight. Seifert and Espinal.
It's been a mixed bag. Richmond's, sometimes the results have not been equal to the performance. Sometimes they have. You think, namely, that Greenville game just a couple weeks ago where they were a complete passenger, but they had the lead for the majority of the game against Naples before letting loose their grip late on. Landon Johnson scoring his first professional goal in that one. Makes a start once more here today as he has hopes of maybe making another impact ahead of this free kick. It belongs to Simon Fitch. Half an hour gone here in Portland. In by Fitch. And shuttled without much incident for a goal kick.
So bear in mind as this game goes on, Richmond do have a short week. They'll have to play that rescheduled game against Knoxville. One that was postponed for the weather conditions there in Knoxville. Had terrible trouble with rain in Knoxville. I was talking to the groundskeeper, actually, who's a longtime friend of mine for Knoxville. He was saying the rain just really played havoc with the situation at the field there. Hopefully things dry out a little bit here as we get towards the end of the summer.
Of course, that was the game where Darwin Espinal got hurt. From that point on, Richmond have not been the same.
Just the one shot on target so far from either team in this one. That was that tame one right at Pablo O'Hara. It's been sort of flashes of threats to get into the final third and cause some havoc, but most of this big game has been played in the center third. Teams matching each other, canceling each other out a little bit. Hasn't been much space out there, that's for sure, except wide occasionally for Portland. Richmond's done a good job of getting bodies behind the ball and limiting chances. JT Kamara, perhaps the brightest spark out there so far.
Here's Darren Sawatsky, who is, in our conversation, undeterred this week. Asked him if there was any degree of desperation or urgency, and he balked at the notion, said that this group has basically been there every year that he's been the head coach. They've found a way, more often than not, to make the playoffs.
I forgot to ask him if his wife still makes cookies when they win games. She hasn't done it much this season, unfortunately.
Got a lot of growing boys on this team. They need higher levels of nutrition.
Listen, you can make a relatively healthy cookie if you try hard.
What's the recipe?
Don't ask me, mate. I like the non-healthy varieties. As long as somebody else is making them, they can make it whatever, to be honest. It's a nice ball there.
Trying to ignite the oven. Richmond kickers. creeping towards the area. First real attacking advance of the last 30 minutes or so, it feels.
Richmond with only 31% possession so far. Neither of these teams particularly like to have the ball. Some of the lowest passing accuracies in League One. That's very good on the counter when they can do it. As Richmond allowed that counter goal last week, that was such a killer.
Portland have not had the majority of possession in their last 4 games, only once in their last 7. Really resembling what is becoming a trend in the modern game at all levels, but particularly in the USL. Playing against the ball, it's a little bit easier to sit in, hit out on the break, and attack space, using the lower line of confrontation as an almost offensive weapon. If you need evidence, look at what Chattanooga Red Wolves are doing. The lowest share of average possession in the, at least in my accounting, recorded history of American soccer. And they've turned everything around in 2025.
Yes, listen, teams know what they do, and they still haven't managed to figure it out.
Whatever works. In this case, it's Kivifta with a nifty bit of footwork.
Bobby Murphy won't want to see him playing this deep. He is the lone striker in this formation. Got to get him up there. Lone central striker, I should say, at least. Get him up there playing on that back line. Looking for those over-the-shoulder balls. He's being a threat to play them.
Back to goal again, the big man. It's out for a throw. If there is any solace for Big Noah, it's the fact that when he looks into the dugout, there really isn't anybody to get him off the pitch, so he won't be minding a slow-paced start to this game.
And the question is, how will he be after 80, 85 minutes? He hasn't played 90 in a while.
True. Kavifta making his first start with Portland Hearts of Pine, at least in a competitive setting.
Yeah, it was very testy friendly for a friendly on Wednesday. We had a red card and a few confrontations. Certainly some people out there to prove a point. Prove they deserve a few more minutes on the pitch.
I gotta imagine it's hard to take it easy in front of this atmosphere, home or away.
It's a valid point. Goosebumps are going to be high no matter what.
Squiggles away, and Richmond back on it.
They're starting to play their way back into this half a little bit here. Maintaining possession.
Well worked. Rambling ahead, Mikey Lopez. Now he defers. It's Ollie Wright. And scrambled back for a Portland throw. Nathan Messer, team's leader in crosses, hasn't had a lot to do so far. Really is so often when Portland are at their best. That set of wingmen on the left, Messer and Ollie Wright. They'll try the near side this time though. JT Kamara. Quinones. Ball back across the bow and creeping in for the tackle. Looked like Marcelo Laws was maybe a little bit out of position there, as a retracing defender had to go to ground, and
I'm not sure if he got clipped by his own man or by Poon Ageron.
that's Clyde Shella.
Oh, bit of both, I think. Caught in the sandwich there. Barnathan may have got him in the end. So you've got to be careful with these head injuries.
Richmond just starting to bend the corner and get fit again. You hope Shella can continue. Shella started the last game. That was his first start since the Chattanooga match in the early phases of July. He is back to his feet. As Shella looks prepared and ready to continue, he goes through the final examinations. Partner with the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. And there isn't one here in this venue today.
Enjoying that sun.
from the drop ball. We reconvene with 5 minutes left, just about, in this first half. Still scoreless. Portland have had a bit of a habit this year of maybe not harvesting the purple patch. Quite a lot of pressure in this half, but have not manufactured much. Punandron. Ollie right. That's well worked. It's Messer with real estate. Maybe not the reinforcement required, though. Ollie right now. A little bit lazily from Punandron. And Darwin Espinal evaluates his options and picks poorly.
He didn't look up. Yeah, Landon Johnson would have been a better option. One-on-one on the left. Kirkland was double teamed on the right side. Frustrating. Those chances so few and far between. You waste them like that.
Lingua checks the side mirror, and now it's Sega Koulibaly. Richmond much more reluctant to apply pressure at this stage. And that proves a prudent approach as it's out for a throw.
I think the first half has pretty much gone to script as we thought it might. With KG affair with few chances created. As everybody knows, the first goal will certainly open things up. I'm not sure how long we're going to have to wait in this one for it. Actually, both teams not in rich vein of form when it comes to scoring.
Molly Green rising highest. The second ball is brilliantly snatched. And pumped along to no one in particular. Kamara will keep it on, but only for a mere moment.
Yeah, superb stuff from Mikey Lopez there. Still got it, Mikey Lopez, when he needs to. 32 now, 41 MLS appearances. An MLS Cup and a US Open Cup last time in Sporting KC.
He and Sega Koulibaly with extensive MLS experience. Lopez, the former Legion man and the club captain. 2019 USL Championship Defender of the Year. Made his way into midfield in the twilight of his career. Bit of a tangle there, but play allowed to continue on. Punandron trying to pay heed to that fact. JT Kamara now backing off his man. Kamara slipped away by Clyde Chilla. Answers his first call since dealing with that little bit of a knock. Kamali Green. Sega Koulibaly pressing up on the midway line. Grappled back to Vifta and threaded forward for JT Kamara. Kamara slotted infield for Punandron, who splits two defenders. Hemmed in the corner. A cutback cross is never going to meet its mark. And after being regathered by Portland Hearts of Pine, the home side prepared to go again.
Yeah, JT Kamara wanted the return ball there, but I think he drifted into an offside position. So Punandron had to take it himself.
Richmond under siege, trying to make it across the finish line of the first half. Back to Hara. He clears the lines and does so a little bit skewedly. It's a throw in for Portland and not allowed to be taken quickly. No point of separation yet, only the one shot on target. Portland juice has not been worth the squeeze so far in terms of their control of the ball.
Interestingly enough, Richmond have more touches in the opponent's box so far in this one, which is a bizarre stat to me, considering Portland have 67.9% of the possession. More than twice as many passes in the opposition half, but they haven't been able to get into that box. Richmond have done a good job with that defensive line, keeping things in front of them.
Seufert able to win a foul. There's Kamali Green of all people, stopping the break. Trot back to his natural position in the back line. It's been a pretty free-flowing first half. Can't imagine there will be too much stoppage time. That being said, Kyle Averill, the fourth official, is sorting out precisely how much will be given. Another high winning of the ball. JT Kamara sharpening the blade. Pumped along to Messer. Will catch it. A strong noggin to it from Marcelo Lodge. A single minute of stoppage time.
JT Kamara just kind of slowed things down there at the wrong moment. There was a chance for an odd-numbered break. Odd man break, I should say. And Kamara just sort of slowed it down. The ball to Messer didn't have the desired impact it needed. And then the cross-in is what's going to be tough to beat. Lodge and Scheller in the air.
It has been the one in fifth gear, JT Kamara, who has the ball again. Slipping one. Slipping a ball in, punched away by Hara. Not all the way clear, Lopez. Ollie Wright, sorting it out, but going the wrong way. So too is Lopez, and Wright again, slips his man. Final ball, ever elusive still. Lopez. Will launch a go for a goal kick, and that might just be the end of the first half. In fact, it is. And so, in Portland, it is scoreless after 45, 0-0 between Hearts of Pine and Richmond Kickers.
Yeah, both coaches with plenty to talk about, I'm sure, at the half. A little disappointing first 45, especially for Portland. I think Richmond will be happy with that scoreline at the break. They'll be looking for that smash and grab in the second 45.
The Kickers in the Lions' den, holding a stiff upper lip. They endure an early barrage of sound and opportunity from Portland Hearts of Pine. Unable the home side to break through on their home patch. The Hennepin halftime report is queuing up on the other side of a break. Much more to come when we return here in Portland, 0-0 at the intermission.
Nice and slow. Right. So elbows back.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. You'd love to replace it, but think, no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace just one window. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free window and door diagnosis. 207-804-4500.
Partnership means a lot of things in this business, and that's the most important thing, is being in a business relationship with someone that you trust, and that's what Mimic does. We want to make sure that everyone is getting exactly what they need, and we want it to be a long-term relationship. At Mimic, we want to lower their total cost of risk, and we want to get those employees back to work whenever we can. At Mimic, we make workers' comp work better.
This is you. When you sign up for Trellis Health, this is your team. Seriously, these people. At Trellis, your primary care provider, physical therapist, pharmacist, health coach, and behavioral health clinician work together for better results. With same-day visits and 24/7, 365 telehealth, your care is primary with us. Become a member today.
Welcome to Trellis Health.
Visit trellishealth.org.
That's a big shoe. At the Hannaford halftime report, it is scoreless. Boots to fill here in Portland's the team of the week. 10 toes down across the board in the USL League One. Ross Davenport, here's what it looks like. John Baccaro taking the honors, a distinguished player in this league, the player of the week in the USL League One.
Yeah, Charlotte's still hanging around. They've been on a bit of a funk of late. John Baccaro is certainly one of the best midfielders in the league, as well as Neil Vinyals, former Richmond kicker. Man, good to see him on there as well. And Arrigo Robe the month.
Got McKenzie. He's making a bid for Coach of the Year.
What a job he's done with the Red Wolves. But it's like doing it quietly, creeping up the table, now in first place, and deservedly so.
Elsewhere in the division, a look at the landscape. So much to come here at halftime. An inside look at all the distinction around the league, as well as a peek behind the curtain, the USL W League Final.
This is an error by Jean-Baptiste. Robles is through. This is Rodrigo Robles, and Greenville is in front. Robles striking for the second consecutive match, and Greenville triumph with an early 1-0 advantage. And he does, with ferocity. A brace for Robles, a third for Greenville.
Still forward for one Knox. Time and space afforded at the top of the box. And what a shot that is! My goodness, what a rocket. Baccaro saved by Garcia.
BYU is the place to be here tonight as Utah United and NC Courage battling out here for a national championship.
NCU League Final.
Now another shot that falls, it goes in the back of the net! And just like that, Utah United off the foot of Evans Tostado. And now Blum puts it in the back of the net! It's 3-0! One in the back of the net. It's 4-0.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Gives NCFC the lead.
Cedeno gets it back! 1-0 City!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? Okay.
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
As it's scoreless at the half, the Hannaford halftime report in full swing. The news and notes from around the USL League One, and always something to write home about. Starting at the bottom of the graphic, Austin Pack scored a goal. It made it 2-2 for South Georgia Tormenta late on. Only the second goal by a goalkeeper in league history, and matched 999 in the USL League One. And maybe a little bit more history coming, Ross. Cosmos, they're back.
They are back in New Jersey. That's fine. All the same general vicinity. Great to see them back in the professional game. And Casey Kell, speaking of goalkeepers, he's joined the ownership group of Athletic Club Boise.
It all comes together as it did in the USL 2 final. Another great look at that coming to you now. After the weekend schedule, though. Those games in swing coming up, all of them kicking off here in the next couple of moments. It all gets started down in the Carolinas. Charlotte Independence and Greenville Triumph, and then Union Omaha trying to get right as they take aim at the top of the table, Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Yeah, we'll see how Chattanooga does there at the always difficult Werner Park. As for that Charlotte-Greenville game, you mentioned Greenville had a tough time against the Independents over the last couple of seasons, but starting to play a little better.
Now we take a look at the USL League 2 final. That's coming to you right now.
USL 2 National Championship between Ballard FC and the Vermont Green. This is a moment very few of us have ever seen. This is a special moment for soccer and for Burlington. It is going to be a big one. These two teams are loaded with talent. They've both led their conferences, their divisions throughout the year, and a chance for Ballard to make it 2 titles in 3 years, and a chance for Vermont Green to do something no one has done since 2010 and go perfect. And the referee points to the spot. He rolls it off the post and in. And Vermont Green take the lead in the national championship at Virtue Field. And there he is, post to foul once again. And Gay recovers it, curls it back in. Marshall puts it on, and Kinslow, the national championship goal scorer in NCAA, puts it in 2025. Vermont is the king of soccer. As the Vermont Green win their first ever USL 2 title. And green is the color of victory once again in Burlington, Vermont.
At LL Bean, we've been innovating for over a century, making great products better so you can feel better. Day after day, year after year. Outside together since 1912. LL Bean. Be an outsider.
I'm David Libby, President and CEO of Town & Country Federal Credit Union. At Town & Country, we work hard to make a difference every day. From providing a first auto loan to that young adult just starting out, or making the dream of home ownership a reality with a mortgage offering closing costs well below nearly every other local lender, or a Visa credit card with a great rate. Town & Country Federal Credit Union is local people helping local people. Let us help you.
Soccer, more than any other sport, brings together fans of different backgrounds, different cultures, different communities, and makes them one community.
Has anyone ever seen anything like this? It's magic. There's no other word for it. It's magic happening here in Portland.
This is history. This is momentous.
We officially have professional soccer in the great state of Maine.
Hey.
Hey.
Allagash, wait for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Rolling the highlights of the first half, presented by Kennebec Savings Bank. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport. It was JT Kamara so often in that first half, raising the level. The only shot on target, though, of the frame comes there on into the 19th minute. Portland once more taking aim.
Yeah, chances were few and far between in the first half, as perhaps expected with these two teams, but JT Kamara certainly had some moments. That was one that certainly could have curled in that far corner if he got just enough of the left foot around it.
Kamali Green in a tight spot here. Josh Kirkland needed that little bit extra quality there at the final moment. Could not find the target. Stats from the first half coming to you. Those are presented by Memic, and yeah, pretty much. Only the one shot from Richmond kickers, not on target, only 32% of the ball. Portland did everything right but finish.
Yeah, it was a tough first half for Darren Sawatzky's men. .03 XG, just not a ton of going on in that final third. Obviously on the road, I think Darren Sawatzky would take a point away from this one, but we saw it last week in the second half, how they struggled. We'll see if they can step up a little bit here in the second 45. Get some chances to make Hunter Morris do something.
Back out to the live pictures in Portland. They've been waiting for the second half to start up. Their team has been much better in the follow-on 45 this year. For whatever reason, despite this rambunctious atmosphere, home or away, Portland have been one of the slow starters in the league. Tied in almost every low-lying category for goals scored in the first period of play in that first 30 minutes and in the first half writ large. Peyton Gallagher here with Ross Davenport. The home side under fire straight away as Darwin Espinal byline. And the defending is worthy to win a goal kick.
Quick start there, one end to the other. JT Kamara shot out of a cannon chasing that ball.
Hunter Morris has not had much to do. Sends us back in motion. 30 seconds into the second half of play. Anything you're looking for early doors from either side?
Just looking for some stretching. And there hasn't been any stretching over the back or wide. I know this pitch is narrow.
Generating something, it might be from some of these dead balls.
We talked about Portland being brave. I just want to see both teams take a little more risks in this second half. Send some bodies forward.
Didn't see a yellow card in the first half. In fact, did not see much of Adahan Yaya at all. Forced to make an early decision, and that opens up a window for Neil Seufert.
Looks like he fancies his chances from a long way out here. Maybe he just chips it in far post, but he's certainly looked like he's threatening to take a shot. The three-man wall.
Despite missing as much time as he has, is still the team's leader in chances created. All avenues open to him. The German at the ready. Seufert! Not much issue for Hunter Morse.
No, disappointing in the end. It almost looks like he got caught in two minds on the way up to kicking that ball. Thought about floating it, thought about smashing it, and didn't really do either.
Morse goes straight away and trims it out of touch. Hard to overstate exactly how cramped the confines are here.
And one thing we can't really see on this side also is the sideline because of the advertising hoardings.
Moved along by Langlois. There is some of that stretch you called for, partner. And shepherded on a play by Clydicella.
Both teams are sort of crying out for a creative force in the midfield to sort of link play and even threaten with a through ball. Keep those back four honest. It's the wise thing to do, right? In a field like this, is just force everything out wide, even there isn't much space there. Just jam everything up in the middle, and that's sort of been the story so far. See if any tactical changes happen here in the second half.
Other side making alterations at the break. Rushing ahead and not nearly on the same page as Kirkland's. Landon Johnson unable to provide. Espinal getting it back. If there has been any kind of silver lining for Richmond so far, it has been the fact that Espinal has looked up for it back in the starting 11.
He provides a little bit of class. We saw him a little shoulder shimmy there to free himself up. Those moments of class in this game so far have been few and far between. It's likely going to take either a mistake or a set piece, and that's the old thing when we get games like this. Set piece is so important in USL League One with the parity of talent.
Hayden Anderson. That's out for a throw.
Darren Swatsky does have the likes of Adrian Billhart, Chandler O'Dwyer on the bench. Billhart probably not at full health, but perhaps healthy enough to give a few minutes. He's a guy that can change a game with his technical ability.
Something that Darren Swatsky spotted just building into this game is that they maybe have asked a little bit too much of Billhart this year. A player that's seen a lot of minutes, a lot of miles on those legs. Maybe not a guy that should be looked to give a full 90. Match week in, match week out, but as you said, can certainly change a game.
Of course, we know Portland's situation on the bench attacking-wise. Short-handed, as we expected, with the loss of Leati in Washington.
Sounds like Leati is going to be down for an extended period. Kivifta brought in as reinforcement to that exact reason.
Yeah, quiet first half. Kivifta only 16 touches. Amazing, that's one more than JT Kamara had, but we saw JT Kamara do a lot more with the touches he had in space.
Lobbed in by Anderson. Lodge was up for it. And it's glanced out. Looks like it will be a Richmond corner. Marcelo Lodge, throughout his career, both at the USL Championship and League One levels, has had a penchant for the ball in the air. 4 career-headed goals. He might get a chance here on this one. It's Tom's original of Maine, corner kick. Within swing for Richmond. Over the head of Morse. Seufert will latch on. From the top of the area, intercepted, numbers on the break for Portland. It's a 3v2, Kamara flowing. Ollie Wright's calling for it, instead infield for Mikey Lopez, who can't cut clear. And from one corner to the other, Portland will cue it up from the flag.
Bobby Murphy, obviously watched tape, saw what happened to Richmond last week against Naples. Almost exactly the same situation, break off the corner. Luckily, Johnson was back to help out this time. It wasn't a sort of 4-on-1 like it was last weekend.
Can Kamara cause damage? Low to the near post, stepped away.
It's always a cat and mouse game on those corners. Do you commit the extra bodies into the box and risk the counter attack?
Fumbled off the foot of Kamara, and it is a goal kick for Richmond. Oh, it will be a corner.
I think it came off the back of Maxi Schenfeld.
It's taken quickly. Moved in by Kamara. Koulibaly gave it a thought. Now Messer. Koulibaly had to sit it up for him, and Messer never really got his bearings in the final third there.
Yeah, it's disappointing. A man like Messer with that quality left foot just snatched out a little bit. Perhaps taking an extra touch.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including access in the Sirius XM app. Hurtling back to the goalkeeper Morse.
It's a huge boot from Pablo Hara. I'm not sure which way the wind's blowing.
He's been charging up for almost, well, at this point, it's over a year. This is his first league action since August 3rd of 2024.
Yeah, you see the flags in the distance there. There's a bit of a breeze. Not much, though. There's a hefty hoof by Pablo Hara. Not the biggest man in the world.
Sun cutting through the pines. Messer. A soul roll as he speeds away from 1-2. Fighting to the end line. The cutback. Ollie Wright! It was at his mercy. He needed more.
And certainly the first piece of action we've seen in a while to get the fans out of this season. We're going to have an early substitution here, it looks like, in the second half. What a run by Messer. He could have certainly have gone down. He kept his feet, pulled it back, and Ollie Wright had enough space to get composed and try to get that shot on target and put it in the far corner. First touch was good. He was shut down relatively well.
Talk about angry runs from Nathan Messer as the first change of the match is made. Chandler O'Dwyer replacing Hayden Anderson. That substitution brought to you by $3 Dewey's.
We'll see if O'Dwyer perhaps goes a little central and force Espinal out wide. We'll see what Darren Swatsky does here.
Has been that somewhat signature space invader. A slower moving kind of second nine at times in the midfield. Portland playing short out of the back. Sega Koulibaly. Codonez dicing with danger. Now he's lost it. But does so well to take it back. And Portland set out. Punanjaran leveled in for Kamara. JT Kamara is dispossessed. Max Schenfeld with the recovery, but kept by Portland's. Cross in from Lopez. White was lying in wait. Recovered by Kamali Green. And it looks like, at least for the time being, O'Dwyer's going to step out into the true number 9 role. See where that pushes the likes of Josh Kirkland's. Good bit of hold up. Punanjaran. A piercing pass into the middle. Just narrowly knocked away.
Yeah, Chandler O'Dwyer had a good start to the season. Just got a couple of early goals playing up top. Darren Swatsky trying everything he can here. Very early second half sub. He's seen enough. Looks like Kirkland will go a little wide.
Messer. He's in the groove now. The curling cross is cut back, but right back to Messer. And in his custody, he steps over. Lays one centrally. Punanjaran turning and burning. Knocked off course. Seufert unable to escape, but he wins a foul.
Lovely teasing ball in by Michel Punanjaran. And we got some blood on the head of Marcel Alage. To get that taken care of. Let's see if we can see where it happened. It may have happened before this. It's just a little ball in. It's late for one, it is. Well defended. Yeah, it must have happened before that. So Lodge will go off to get a bandage.
If any blood gets on that white jersey, he'll have to change shirts too, which could prolong exactly how long he's at the technical area. Hopefully he's all right. That is that boxer bleeder spot right at the brow.
Yeah, need to get the one. I think we'll have to get it at least strapped up. We do have Griffin Garnett on the bench who can play centre back if needed. Lodge has been large tonight in that centre back spot.
So
Just
often
nothing
is.
everything out.
He's a big man.
And his Richmond backline has been very good. Maxi Schenfeld especially. Lots of key interventions tonight.
Nearly an hour come and gone here in Portland. For the time being, it's Richmond playing with 10 men. Marcelo Lodge unable to rejoin today. A scouting ball in behind. Landon Johnson. And JT Kamara.
See Lodge there, just off screen, still getting worked on. Richmond will certainly take their time with this throw if they're smart.
Here's Portland have prepped a pair of changes.
Yeah, Bobby Murphy, I think, understands that anything less than 3 points here would not be good against a struggling Richmond squad. Bring in some fresh legs.
Back in.
Off screen, Marcelo Lodge certainly getting checked out by the doctors. Looks like he's been worked on, perhaps doing a quick concussion check.
Gifta applied some pressure and it will force a throw in.
And Dakota Barnathan dropping back into the centre back spot while Lodge is out, getting tended to.
Role that he's familiar with. And a midfielder in recent years, but certainly has played plenty of minutes at the back for Richmond down the years.
Swanska needs to make a decision here because they can't keep playing with 10 men much more time.
Under duress, ball across the bow. Thrashed away by Richmond. We're in siege mode right now. Punanjaran. Swiveling. Mikey Lopez.
See Lodge getting strapping up now on the head.
A long parading passage of play. The back heel from Ollie Wright. Messer and Wright. It's geometric in the build-up right now for Portland. Triangles all over the place. Kamara. Met by two. In for Punanjaran. He can't connect the dots on the give and go.
Yeah, not for the first time tonight. Johnson helping out with that double team. So here comes Marcelo Lodge.
Battered and bruised, but ready to continue. That will not be the case for two players on the Portland side. Day done for Sega Koulibaly. He gets an hour as he comes up to speed in his league starting debut. And it will be Evan Southern who's requested into the game from Portland Hearts of Pine. His first league action since the game at Union Omaha. Coming all the way back on June 10th. Rather than actually May 10th. Just to further underscore precisely how long away in the league Evan Southern has been.
Yeah, Patrick Langlois, a relatively quiet night in that central attacking midfield role. Only had 4 passes in the final third. Well, a number Bobby Murphy will be happy with, I'm sure. So we'll see what Southern can do.
Smothered by Poonandron. A cheeky little backheel flick. Other side really able to work it out. Now Ollie Wright-Will. Striding along for Nathan Messer, who smartly slows the beat a bit. It's those two again. Southern heavy on the first touch. Crashed away by Pablo Jara. Kirkland is trampled. It really has been those hit and hope balls in behind for Richmond that have been the best course of action on the attacking foot. Now at the end line, and chests it out for a corner kick. It's been sleepy, but that's only so far.
The second corner of the night for the visitors. The dangerous left foot of Maxi Schenfeld. Those of you that watched him play over the years in this league know what he can do with it.
Most of the wind has subsided, blowing just beyond the near-sided goal. Here it comes within swing. Carrying all the way through the back, and nothing more than a goal kick. Darren Sawatsky has looked into the dugout. He will make some alteration. Ryan Baer, who had started all games since being acquired on loan from Tacoma Defiance a couple weeks ago, will come in off the bench to try and add some impact. And it's the end of the line for Neil Seufert and Darwin Espinal, both back in the starting 11 today after being away from the side, both getting a little more than an hour before getting the hook.
Well, pretty much straight up subs there. Bill Hart will drop into the middle, try and provide a little something for O'Dwyer and Kirkland. Ryan Baer sit at the 6th spot alongside Barnathan. Try and secure this point, which in the grand scheme of things would not be a bad point.
First touches for Adrian Billhart. Now Southern gets away from Kamara. Nice little turn. Schenfeld in a tight space, and now it's Ara, who's not hesitated to just thrust forward. Oh, that's a spotless tackle. Maybe pressing the issue a bit, though, is Ollie Wright, whose lapse in focus will not be punished.
Yeah, Darren Espinal leaves the field leading the team in touches in the opponent's box with 4. Had the odd moment, but certainly going to take him a little while to get back going, especially the 90-minute capability. Certainly Adrian Billhart, a pretty capable replacement creatively.
Floated in behind again. Just a bit of an aimless blind ball, if you will, from Kamali Green. He might be forced to play this up in the corner. It's a goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. A match that has been screaming for separation to liven things up. Still scoreless here in Portland. Just beyond an hour and 5 play. Important duel was won.
Did in the end.
Initially, Vinberg will dive in, take the ball. The foul has been given. It's a yellow card. And if there was a foul there, Vinberg may be a little bit fortunate. And it was only yellow. He was the last man back.
perhaps a little harsh on Wimberg. Fortunately for referee, he was right in front of the supporters groups for Hearts. And listen, the old getting the ball myth. He did get the ball, but did he come in recklessly? Oh, yeah. Certainly wasn't a ton of contact on Johnson. We would have got a good shot there if we hadn't been blocked by Kavifta and Baird.
Ross, given the fact that you are a referee, that you've assumably read every word in the refereeing handbook presented by IFAB every year, does turning your back as a defender going in for a sliding challenge matter at all?
No, I think there wasn't enough I think the foul was even a little harsh there, perhaps. Certainly wasn't any contact on the follow-through. Minor if there was.
Nonetheless,
opportunity. He had a good game up until that point, I think. We'll see if this decision costs Portland or not.
And so the free kick belongs to Max Shenfield, and with it, a chance to really bend the bow and take aim at Portland. Ball into the box, headed away on the half volley, and it is some stop from Hunter Morse. My gracious, what a piece of goalkeeping from him.
He stood around doing nothing for 68 minutes and 45 seconds, but left his feet there when he needed to. What a strike and a matching save. There's another look at it here. Ball swung in. Almost hit him in the head. I didn't see who actually had the shot in the end.
A flashbulb lighting piece of goalkeeping from Big Rat, who digs in again ahead of this corner kick. Applies the knuckle. Once more in. Lodge knocking on, and it's a trio of stops from Hunter Morse. The last, the easiest.
Yeah, apparently the flag stayed down. Portland players had almost stopped playing. It's one of those tricky ones, though. Unless you get out super quick, players can sneak in behind, timing the header run nicely.
And that heightened the voltage, that bit of goalkeeping from Hunter Morse. This side stuck in second gear throughout most of this second half. Much less threatening from Portland's.
Sometimes all it takes is a little spark like that to light up a game. 20 minutes for Portland to try and save 3 points here. Point would undoubtedly be disappointing, especially if they fail to score yet again.
Ollie Wright turns one, turns it on. It's Southern, still Southern. Lodge dislodging it at the doorstep. Ollie Wright not taking no for an answer. It's Cheeky, it's Messer. Turning away Poonanjaran, who was there on the overlap.
Yeah, Southern perhaps should have just had a crack instead of trying to take that extra touch. He hasn't played a ton this season, and it showed a little bit there. Decision making in the box.
Poonanjaran center stage, and now delivered wide for Southern. Lodge again standing tall. Well, if it looked like Kamara will watch it go for a throw.
Tempo starting to pick up with the noise here in Portland.
Brilliant bit of defending there from Marcelo Lodge in that sequence.
Doing what he was brought in to do.
Almost feels like it's been more willing from him to go up for the contested ball since the headband went on.
A little bit of extra power.
Worked out well. Kamara, this could be dangerous. And it's last-ditch defending again from Richmond. It seemed it might be off to the races and unseating in stride, and it's out for a throw.
Now referee letting them play. Just want some consistency. Shrug of the shoulders from Bobby Murphy, and now another substitution perhaps. A familiar face in League One.
Quite. So here comes Jake Keegan. One of the all-time best in the goal-scoring department. He will have to sit on his hands at least for the next couple of moments. Bobby Murphy's having just a little chat with, it looks like, Max Shenfield.
Not to be on that conversation. Two characters.
I'll tell you this, Bobby Murphy is speaking his mind. I don't think the man's ever said a dishonest word. For better or for worse, he will let you have it. Tell you exactly where you stand, and I think that's a quality most players certainly admire. On that occasion, probably not very happy words being said as the ball rather carelessly escapes over the touchline, but it does create an avenue for Jake Keegan to get in. A man making one of many steps onto the field, replacing one in his first start in the USL League One. No Kadifta, his day is done. Fairly eventless.
Yeah, didn't get the service required. No Kadifta. Listen, being called in this situation he's been called into. I think he did okay in the end.
Certainly offered a back-to-goal presence that's been missing in the Portland attacking assembly this year. Kamali.
Back in the Portland half here.
Marcelo Lodge again, meeting the ball in the air. Ollie Wright got it stuck beneath his studs, scrambling back to try and deter this counter. And a drag back, draws the whistle, 75 minutes gone. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and the ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Got a big one on the Golazo Network tonight. Got Louisville City, got Charleston Battery. Maybe the highest quality clash in the history of the USL, and that is quite welcomed. How those two teams have played this year.
Yeah, running away at the top of the East, those two, as they have been for the last couple of years, it seems.
Those two, the gold standard organizations, as we chart a course toward a promotion relegation system. That will be who everybody is chasing.
It'll be interesting to see how that game goes. Sometimes those games don't live up to the high expectations. Occasionally they do, though. An early goal would certainly help things.
Louisville have carved out maybe even a Portland-esque home field advantage in the last year or so. Kamara centrally, undercut, a clear free kick. It's in Ollie Wright range, and it's a yellow card. Ryan Baer, the recipient. And alarm bells will be ringing from just beyond 22 or 23 yards.
Yeah, watch the little fake here by Kamara, let it go across him. That's what fooled Ryan Baer. He committed to the initial touch on the near side here. He was completely out of position. Nothing he could really do. It's a little central for either a right footer or a left footer, but we'll see what happens here. Just float one into the penalty spot, perhaps. Take a crack, four-man wall. Certainly within that distance to have a go. Messer on the left or Ollie Wright with the right.
Would he dare? The answer is almost certainly yes. Everybody in the building knows what might just be coming on the near horizon. There's a crackle of anticipation, electricity ahead of this free kick, a four-man barricade.
And it's a tall barricade. Those three over 6'2".
Pablo Jara in goal. His first start in the league in over a year. Messer over the top. It belongs to this man, Ollie Wright, straight into the top of the wall. Messer has it again, Ollie Wright. Messer couldn't get out of the blocks.
Yeah, disappointing strike in the end. Just didn't get underneath it.
Listen how quiet this place has gotten after that.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night for everybody involved on the home side of things. Richmond's come in and done their job so far. 0.08 XG for Richmond, 0.3 for Portland. It's just 3 shots on target. Obviously, one standing up above the rest, that long distance one.
Sturdy header. Lopez the second ball. Kirkland.
Did too much with it.
Snatched up by Ollie Wright, trying to smuggle it away from his own hands. Rides a tackle advantage, does not present.
Joshua Kirkland with the unceremonious rugby tackle. It's the right thing though, right thing to do. Good professional foul.
Player that, having played collegiately at the University of Mary Washington, his manager has said has been just learning the game the last 2 years. Didn't see much action in 2024. Was at a level where basically he could just run at defenders and good things would happen. That was a heady play from him in year 2 as a professional.
Yeah, credit to him. Stuck around last season. It was almost a season-long trialist, training with the team all season. Now rewarded for that. Obviously some injuries have helped him as well.
He has been their leading light, their top goal scorer in 2025. Hasn't found the back of the net in 4 matches at this point, the second longest drought in his season. 10 minutes left, and that could extend. As for now, it's Messer. Room for a cross. Settled by Southern. Lopez, it's blocked. And on the charge, Richmond kickers. Cavalry coming. Richmond stampeding to the attacking ends. Pushing up towards the box, centrally. O'Dwyer. And it skids away, the flag is up. Just wasteful.
Yeah, the pass was just delayed a little too long. He could have just put it into his path. See here, Johnson, he looked up. That's also poor from O'Dwyer. He's got to know how he can stay onside. You need to stay behind that ball. Look at across. You're looking at where the ball is. That was all you had to worry about. There's nobody behind you.
Ollie Wright just puts the ball to sleep with his first touch. And now it's Messer. Keegan in support. Oh, Messer. Still Messer. Down in a heap. No foul. Either way.
Simon Fitch may have earned the foul. We haven't called his name so much tonight. That's a good thing when you're a right back. Well, great look at it here from the ground level cam. They both had a hold of each other's jerseys there, but then Fitch had position. Messer kind of got the leg around Fitch, and he really had nowhere to go but over the leg.
Certainly looked like Messer had cleanly circumvented. Got the touch, flicked it on.
Went down a little easily, perhaps. Watch out. Bill Hart just couldn't control it.
Kind of the story of the night. Lyndon Johnson will exit, replaced by a fellow Academy graduate, Beckett Howell. Might be a signaling as a fullback comes on for a wide man of a circling of the wagon. A point would probably be a satisfactory result for Richmond on the road.
No doubt about that. There's Walter Varela.
Haven't seen as much of him in recent weeks. Has made a handful of starts. Got anxious very quickly, but Portland's riddle off the hook.
Richmond substitution in the 83rd minute.
16th appearance of the season for Walter Varela, at least in the league.
Johnson, Powell
Johnson in the 83rd. Portland substitution in the 83rd minute. Number 22, Walter Varela, replaces number 21, Colby Quinones.
Varela, a very talented soloist, not afraid to take a man on.
Don't forget, after this one, you got two choices to turn over. To Greenville at Charlotte, and Union Omaha hosting Chattanooga.
Greenville game particularly pertinent for those of the Portland persuasion. They are bouncing up and down. Will it be enough to spur their side along? Another famous moment, possibly on the cards, as this match makes its way towards its expiration. Of course, that could be pioneered by Richmond kickers as they get it into the box, headed along, and Hunter Morris will rise, collect with two hands. Every chance for Richmond kickers has really yet to actually become a chance. Varela, Kamara. Looks like they're trying Varela out as a fullback here. Maybe some attacking ingenuity in his form. There's a man down for Richmond kickers. Here's what happened. Just got one in the stomach.
Ouch. Portland now with 538 passes in this game. It's by far surpassed their highest total this season. This one comes with 69% possession. Unfortunately, still just the one shot on target.
Vinberg. 5 minutes left. That in stoppage time. Ollie Wright picks up the baton again. JT Kamara has room. Has runners. Marcelo Lodge has none of it.
They're quite happy to put that one out of play. Solid performance, as you mentioned, from this Richmond back four. Especially considering Marcelo Lodge is only in his fourth start in the unit.
Varela's lost it. Vinberg's kept it. And done so again. Keegan, the knockdown. Poon Andron trying to switch it. Now they finally get it over there. Ollie Wright turning. Messer arriving. Messer unable to slide free of the tackle. It was Adrian Billhart busting along to get there. Simon Fitch sends it out of touch.
Great work back by Billhart. Risky tackle in that area of the pitch.
Southern. Keegan. A high arc of travel and all the way back to Hunter Morse. Were shut out in their last game against Knoxville. Trying to avoid that similar fate. Likely would be the winner if they secure something here. Ollie Wright. Messer strikes the bar. It hit the underside. But it's O'Dwyer carrying it forward. A clean clipping back of the ball.
Nathan Messer was lining up for that. I was thinking in my head, please just put your laces through it. Been begging for that all night, and that's exactly what Messer did. Just a couple of inches from being a late potential winner. Pablo Hara was well beaten in Richmond.
Bill Hart shaking free. Into the area for Kirkland, it's saved! Another save from Morse. This time, he's made sure to stop it. And now it's Ollie Wright, right on the run. Ollie Wright shaping a ball in behind, and it's overhit. Pair of stops from Portland.
Yeah, Morris did a good job making himself big, got back to his feet quickly. 2 huge saves. It's going to take something special to beat him from that angle, or a big mistake, but he did it beautifully. Keep it out. Kirkland stymied again.
A game that's been starved for chance, a couple big ones. Right on the precipice of the 90th minute. Away by Vinberg. Once more by Keegan. Acrobatic touch. It's Varela, it's Kamara. Portland flying in formation. JT Kamara. Keegan. Keegan's shot is blocked, and that takes all the sting. Simon Fitch standing his grounds.
Yeah, things opening up here. Some tight legs out there. Jake Keegan was trying to get it back onto his favorite right foot to open up some space, but Simon Fitch, as he has done all night, superb defensive effort.
A couple of sparring partners that have saved everything for the 12th round, and both going for broke. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time is brought to you by Visit Maine. Portland trying to provide another reason. Ollie Wright. A glamorous sequence of build, and right on cue, Ollie Wright steps on the ball.
Yeah, just one back heel too many from Ollie Wright.
How about another sprinkling of high tension from America's soccer heartbeat? Every passing second counting for more as we enter the final phase of this season. Ollie Wright. Messer. Lopez. Punandron. And JT Kamara backing off Beckett Howell. Kamara carving the half yard for a cross, fires one in. It's taken over the line by a deflection corner kick. Once more, mind you, Portland Hearts of Pine have never scored a corner in USL League One.
And they say they're due. It takes something special to score in the air against this big Richmond Kickers squad.
In by Kamara, free for Messer. It's a bit of a fangless effort. And out for a throw by Kirkland.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a repeat of Wednesday. Ollie Wright scoring on the clearance from a corner. Not to be this time for Messer.
Portland don't dip their hat. They stride forward proudly. 2 minutes left. Southern strikes in a ball. Only one man in the box for Portland Hearts of Pine. Varela. It's Ollie Wright on the far side. Linking JT Kamara, who sees the run of Punandron, who goes it alone, and that's the wrong decision.
Certainly was. Players flooding into the 18-yard box looking for the pullback.
A night of nearly in Maine. Only 1 minute left. Throw in being prepped by Richmond. Heaving to get one last breath. Give everything to this final pursuit. 3 points would be massive for them.
And you can see by how few Richmond players are in the box, and especially of the taller variety, that I'd love to just walk away with this point here.
Kirkland twisting. Keegan covering.
We weren't going to get caught on the break. Still a chance here perhaps for Portland, not this time. Running out of time here.
Last chance saloon time for Portland Hearts of Pine. Messer. They're going the wrong direction. Vinberg finally looking upfield. 94th minute has expired. Kamara. Referee being given cause to let it go on, but maybe not any further. Ball swerving into the reach of Hunter Morse. One last exchange between Portland Hearts of Pine and Richmond Kickers. A mile high. Referee looking at the watch. Lifting his arms. It goes scoreless. 0-0 the final score. Richmond, they will share the points with a handshake. They snatch one on the road and they will feel like thieves as they head back to Richmond. Long trip to Virginia. Kickers get a result.
Yeah, and the offensive woes continue for Hearts. That man, our man of the match tonight. A couple of big saves for Hunter Morris to keep this game at 0-0 and earn his team at least a point.
He was the practitioner of the save of the match. Hunter Morse, the Trellis Health man of the match, and here's what that looked like.
Yeah, Ryan Bear from 25 out with a right-footed volley. That would have beaten many keepers in this league, but Hunter Morse on his toes after not doing much all evening. And that's a top draw save, certainly can be up there for save of the week.
Brought to you by Kennebec Savings Bank. And the play of the match is also Hunter Morse.
Joshua Kirkland here, the double save. In the last 20 minutes or so, Kirkland with his head in his hands denied at the front post by the former Michigan State man.
Hunter Morse, his first home league clean sheet in the Portland shirt. Enough to secure one in the home venue. We'll pick through it when we return on the other side of a break. The final score here in Maine, 0-0. Richmond take a point on the road.
When you really care about good, you start seeing possibilities others might miss. Hannaford has been at this since 1883, supporting local farmers and making quality food affordable. Turns out, it's possible to take care of people and the planet we share by going the extra mile for what really matters. See all this good? At Hannaford, it's the small moments of care that add up to make a big difference for all of us. Hannaford, all for good.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
Richmond Kickers, they'll take it. Back amongst the points as they share them with Portland Hearts of Pine. The home side scoreless in consecutive matches now. Highlights from the match that was here in the state of Maine. We will show them all to you. They are presented by Toms of Maine. And it wasn't for lack of trying. Nathan Messer, late on in the second half, was able to open the door for an opportunity. Ollie Wright spooning the finish.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back. Ollie Wright Messer started to grow into the game in the second half. Richmond certainly had the best chance of this second half, and here it comes on the volley from Bear. Great technical ability. It wasn't an easy shot, especially he just came on the pitch a couple of minutes before. Morse matches it with the quality save.
I tell you what, that might be the save of the year so far.
Certainly going to be up there combined with the power of that shot and the direction.
Moore standing his ground there, opening a chance for Portland late on, and this was the best one of the night. Nathan Messer ringing the woodwork.
Yeah, smashed it off the crossbar. Pablo Hara was beaten. Just didn't see enough of that tonight. Just guys taking a crack. You never know what's going to happen. It almost happened there. They found the back of the net.
Nathan Messer wishing that they played with square posts. Richmond down the other end would get something here by the way of Josh Kirkland, but Hunter Morris up to make a double save.
Yeah, certainly earned his player of the match. Again, not a ton of clean sheets for Hunter Morris, but he did what he needed to do tonight in limited action.
Full-time stats brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. And despite Richmond only having one shot at the half, I believe it was, they come up with 7-3 on target. Portland's get the one shot on target early, and that's all.
Yeah, Richmond can certainly hold their head high after that performance, especially on the defensive end. Will now go to play Knoxville in that rescheduled match with a bit of momentum, getting healthier. Didn't see anybody get hurt tonight, which is another positive as well.
We are in the home stretch now. Every match with that heightened degree of import as this one comes to a close in front of 4,000 friends, maybe some more. Portland Hearts of Pine unable to lift themselves beyond Richmond kickers who gut it out, grab the point in hostile confines. Full-time score is brought to you by Apres, as for our entire cast and crew here for this presentation of the USL League One. And my partner, Ross Davenport. Folks, I've been Peyton Gallagher. We will talk to you soon, 0-0 at the final bell.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.